eternal bliss. Of course, we know that life isn't blissful, and that life comes to an end, and that part of life is death, and how we respect the dead and honor the dead, honor their service if they were military personnel, honor their lives if they were not. This is an important thing for a city to do. I was proud to lead the effort to bring a Veterans Memorial Park and Cemetery at the Great Park to Irvine. It will be 10% of the entire Great Park property. Let's plan it together. Let's plan it right. Let's be sensitive to one another's cultural needs and desires. And let's be proud of the cemetery that we just did. Thank you.
Chairman?
Thank you. Yes, we did vote for it, to have a veterans cemetery at the Great Park. During the debate and the discussion, which was quite extensive, Mayor Choi brought up the issue of Feng Shui and how this impacts our Asian community. And at that time, Councilmember Irvine didn't want to hear any of it. He didn't want to deal with the issue of Feng Shui and being sensitive to that problem that this cemetery may cause in our Asian community. I wanted to explore it. I wanted to look further. That's why we created a committee to get the voices, your voices, everyone's voice heard about this issue, to find out so that the Asian community could tell me, is this a problem? Should we not do this? How could we plan for this? But unfortunately, Councilmember Rager brought it forward and rushed it forward in a way that we did not have time to explore that issue. Now, I'm sorry we don't, but we will. We are committed to looking at that in the future to determine how it will impact the Asian community. Feng Shui is important. We need to be culturally sensitive here about that problem and not just rush forward without considering all of our impacts to the community.
Well, I have family members who fought in the Second World War, and I think it's very important to understand that without our veterans, many of us are not here today. So I think it's very important that we do set aside a very small piece of land, and that's what it is, 125 acres. It's maybe 8% of the Great Park. I believe that it should be done respectfully for all cultures to chime in on it and let us all know what your feelings are and how maybe it should be laid out. And if I was on the council at that time, I would have voted for a memorial park as well. I think it's the right thing to do, and I think it's the least we can do for our veterans.
Lynn?
My father was in the Army, and he served overseas, living in Germany after the conclusion of World War II. When my father passed away in the year 2011, we chose not to bury him at Riverside because it was just too far for my mother and I to travel, and for the friends to travel who may want to still pay respects to him as he has passed. And so I'm very open to a cemetery here in Orange County. Our family loved and attended events at the base when it was open. In fact, I lived right under the flight path, and we used to watch the Blue Angels fly directly over our home. It's very important for us to respect our military and to honor our veterans and provide for them the most peaceful place to allow them to rest in peace. But having said that, I think it's vital that we respect cultural values and that we go above and beyond to make sure that we have the input of the community before we make a final decision on this issue. And so if I'm a councilwoman, I will advocate for a community survey so that we really understand the cultural values involved and that we pay respect and honor to the Asian community as well.
Catherine?
Thank you. My father was in the military in the Air Force. My daughter's fiance is a military veteran. He also serves as a funeral director, and he brings coffins from the planes and puts them down in the cemetery. This park, the Great Park, should have a cemetery. Every one of us in this room knows someone or has someone that died or fought, so we could be sitting here having this discussion. We have no right not to allow them a place to rest, and for families to visit a memorial and a small park cemetery at the Great Park, where they left to protect our freedoms and where they came back, dead or alive. We owe them that much. It's as simple as that. Thank you.
So unfortunately, we are out of time for more questions. We'd like to thank all of the candidates for participating today, and please give them a warm round of applause.
Just a couple of things. The candidates are certainly free to leave at this point. This event